All right, welcome to our Cleveland Public School regular board meeting, Monday, October 20th, 2025, at 6 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. tonight. Our call to order, adoption of the agenda is the first item. Are there any revisions or corrections, additions?
None for me.
All right, seeing none, I would look for a vote to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Casey made motions, or second, Ryan seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. All right, community comment. At each meeting, we allow community comment. We ask that each speaker be limited to no more than 3 minutes per speaker, no more than 15 minutes per subject topic. Is there any community comment tonight? No, yes, so I assume not. All right. Okay, number 4, consent agenda. Approval of regular board minutes, approval of bills and payments, and approval of contracts. Yeah, there's like 3 contracts. We have Ella Michael, 3rd grade long-term sub, Richard Rolfing for his communications assistance contract, and Chloe Hack for food service assistance. A few resignations, Nancy Rezak from food service, Busing, paraprofessional. Then also included in consent agenda items are a list of donations. Is that in here? Okay, yeah, are that the amounts in here or not?
No, we're not.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just gonna read them quick because those are important as they do definitely help support everything we do here. So Hometown Bank, Clipper Rising Voices, The Center Hardware, Hank, Clipper Rising Voices, Block Farms, Clipper Rising Voices, Cleveland Pioneers, 4-H/Snack Cart, Hometown Bank, Title I Events, Beckland Farm, FFA Corn Drive, Myron and Leanne Wolf, band donation in memory of Alice Ely, St. Peter Lutheran Church, Waterville Classroom Supplies, Jody Thompson, Prom, and Mary Copperman, Clipper Rising Voices. So thank you to all those who donated since the last meeting. This is consent agenda, I guess, look for a motion to approve those unless there are any specific discussion on those.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Andy made a motion to approve the consent agenda items. For second?
A second.
Second. Any discussion on those items? All right, seeing none, we can vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 5.0 presentations, we don't have any. 6.0 old business. We just have operating levy at 6.1 for discussion. Obviously, our levy's coming up. November 4th is the final vote. Any updates from?
Nothing major to update. We had our last presentation on Monday, a week from today, at PM in the Commons area. Other than that, it's been fairly quiet. Postings are continuing, social media postings and so forth. I haven't had any phone calls or questions that have come in as of late. I take that back. I had one question referring to special ed funding and whether we were third-party billing or not, which we are, which we do recoup money by doing that. Other than that, I'm really quiet.
I've heard positive things that people feel like there's lots of information out there.
Good.
That's kind of a town that we had to get, and survey was to get people informed. So I think the extra meetings and having a larger group involved has been helpful too. Some of the things I've heard.
That video that's out, it's a newer video that they did with the younger kids. I don't know. Somebody did it this weekend. Yeah, that's a good video. But I think that was the vote yes.
Yeah.
Did that?
Yep. Been a yeah, group of pretty engaged community members, so that's, yeah, helpful to get information out to a wider base of people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that's just a discussion item, so if there's any other questions or comments on that, then we can jump to 6.2. Got policy changes. Approved a few policies at the last meeting, but these ones needed a second reading based on the types of changes. I believe they have, so I'm just gonna read the policy number and the description again for the record. So we got policy 508, extended school year for certain students with individual education programs, IEPs. 521, student disability, non-discrimination. And Form 521, student disability, discrimination, grievance report form. 532, use of peace officers and crisis teams to remove students with IEPs from school grounds. 608, instructional services, special education. And 615, testing accommodations, modification, and exemptions for IEPs, section 504 plans, and LEP students. Any additional comments or?
Nope, these will be, once you approve them, we have them ready to go to be posted, tomorrow. We should be good to go.
Motion to approve and adopt the listed policies.
Okay, Nancy made a motion,
Second.
Ryan seconded. Did you have any feedback from committee members after they've been read now a couple times through the?
Nothing on the policies, so.
Do we have a procedure to notify people of the changes, or it just goes in the handbook? Should there be something? Do we?
We don't, we just have to have it up by tomorrow, so.
Think about that. I mean, I know we talk about them publicly, like we've said a few times. But lots of policies, so just I know it's not if thinking through them and our time to get them in front of people. So, okay. All right. Any other discussion? Otherwise, we have a motion to second. Okay, we can vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 7.0, new business. 7.1, approval of joint and sealant quotes. Quotes, not quotes.
We talked about this at the last meeting. We've talked about it a couple times about the water issue that's coming through the walls. And we'll shore up the joints. We'll take everything out, caulk and everything, re-caulk everything, and we'll seal the entire wall from the outside in. Should eliminate any water issues that we have. We did get 2 quotes. I'm proposing that we take Right Way caulking their proposal and move forward with it. So we can get them scheduled and get them in here. They said that they should be able to do it before winter sets in.
Okay. Does that come with any kind of a guarantee or warranty for X amount of time? They do the job, guarantee no water at all?
That I have to look. I don't believe so because it's caulking. I can most definitely look into that tomorrow when I talk to Chris.
Sure.
Get enough, yeah, get in the, there's an issue, we can, hopefully they stand by their work regardless.
I would imagine Garland would hold him to the fire if there was an issue.
Like you said, you chose the cheaper of the 2 quotes by kind of a wide margin, but you said you had good feedback from the team about this company doing good work as well. So. Okay. All right, any other questions or discussions? We talked about this one at the work session too, so you had a little time to think about it and ask questions since then. Otherwise, I would look for a vote to approve, well, maybe a vote to approve one of the of the quotes, and Dustin said you recommended that, right?
Make a motion to approve the, railway caulking quote.
Do we need to list the dollar value? Doesn't hurt.
I will approve, or I'll make a motion to approve the railway caulking quote for, two numbers combined,
Make you do
right?
some math there.
41,300, nope, there's two, 41,500. Got it.
A motion, as stated. A second.
A second.
Second, any more discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 7.2, approval of winter coaches. Walker's not here with us because he's probably managing a
Yep, he's
play a volleyball game.
taking care of Springfield coming in here for the section volleyball. He presented this at the work session again, nothing's changed from that presentation. So I would just approve or recommend approve as stated.
Comments or discussion about the list?
I'll make a motion to approve the winter coaches.
He's made a motion, for a second.
I'll second.
All second. The discussion. You need to abstain or not?
I can't. Steve.
Okay, all right, all in favor, of approval of winter coaches as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks for coaching, Nancy,
Don't thank me.
and anybody else who does. All right, 7.3, approval election of MSBA trust proxy. We discussed this at the work session as well. This is related to the Minnesota School Board Association Insurance Trust, I believe is what we talked about, right? It allows we had a vote, or we discussed at the work session to place a vote for the only candidate in that election. And then vote that to proxy vote as well, is what it comes down to, right? So if you ever had questions on any matters with MSBAIT, I suppose we would follow them through. John, or probably staff too. Okay. Right, I would look for a motion to approve.
What's the name of that guy?
Yes, it's here. Carter, John Carter,
J-O-H-N or not?
JONKARGER.
K-A-G-E-R?
Right, we have a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Keith, Ryan's made a motion.
I'll second.
Nancy a second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 7.4, set date to canvass the election results. 3 to 10 business days, or 3 to 10 days from election, so November 7th through the 14th. Can be any of those days. Was there a preference given, or do we need to coordinate with that with the county?
It's preferred that you do it for later than sooner, just to give them some breathing room in case something needs to be adjusted or whatever.
Sure. So it can be Friday the 7th, or 7th through Friday, November 14th?
Yeah. Sure. So whatever fits into your guys' schedule is.
Oh, so that's us taking the results and ratifying them as a board?
Yeah.
Sure. Not county related. Okay. Anybody have a preference for that?
7th is good for me. What time of day do we want to do that? Because that's all we would technically have to do with that meeting, right? Or is there other stuff we would try to bolt to it?
Big meeting.
It'd just be that, right? Do you want it, so they said they wanted a little bit later, do you, maybe for 7th, or do you wanna do that next week? Any day that week work?
Yeah, I'm personally pretty flexible that week.
Yeah, the only, if you do it on the 10th, we'd have to do it after 6, but otherwise I'm good all week that week as well.
I got a meeting on the 10th at 7.
10th is out.
What's the earliest you guys can meet?
We're gonna get really good at 6:30 in the morning.
We get a lot
But
done.
yeah, I can be pretty flexible.
We get a lot done.
If we could do something at like 6, that would be fine, rather than 7. That would not be for me.
I agree.
6 P.M.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I could do that.
Okay.
As long as we're done by 7. So,
But this, that won't take long here.
fire meeting.
Yeah.
We could do it on the Monday the 10th at 6.
Virtually. Okay, so Monday, November 10th at 6 P.M. is what we're saying for the date to canvass the election results. Okay, I guess I would look for a motion to state that and do that.
I'll make a motion to set the date to canvass the election results on Monday, November 10th at 6 p.m.
All right, Nancy made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 8.0 items of information and discussion. Activities director report is first. Do you have anything that we needed to?
No, he wasn't sure if you'd get up here or not, but, he was just gonna talk about the women coaches and the Hometown Bank has donated money, I think $100 to help with the trunk or treat, getting the candy and such. He's gonna approach the Legion for some money. So he's got that up and rolling.
Because he reached out to like Anders and the Bait Bucket and Jocko's and that kind of
I
stuff.
bet he has not. I can mention that to him.
We've been to host some of them.
People in town too, so.
Yeah.
I'll pass it on to him. I think he was planning on reaching out to Andrews and coordinating something with them.
I know, yeah, a lot of the winter, you had stuff, there was some sign-up stuff for some sports, it sounded like they had pretty good, I didn't hear 5 numbers, but we'll talk about that next meeting, about how much participation he's got in some of those things.
Negotiations is still working on their stuff, having very constructive conversations with the teachers.
It's going very well so far.
It'll be a few months probably before we're done, but, or at least a month. Very constructive.
And then last week, their numbers currently are 10 elementary, 22 secondary, so full would be 16 elementary and 24 secondary, so they're getting secondary is almost full. Once they get to a certain point, there is room, and we have in the past had another secondary teacher. So if that continues to grow, we will be adding that teacher back. We just didn't hire, somebody retired, and so we didn't hire them back. So we're able to keep them under 3 groups. The construction looks really good. There's a few touches that need to be done, so if we want to make another trip over there to check it out, it's amazing how you walk in the doors and it's a completely different atmosphere, which leads to the morale and the attitudes of the staff. They said it's just amazing how the kids are, you know, there's one teacher that said that she's gonna run out of things to teach this year because she's never had a class that's actually learning, that she's not doing more behaviors. They're actually, because they're not walls to pick on, and they're, you know, they're
Sure.
in a class that looks good, so,
I think it'd be a good idea if the two of us would go over there again
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
and take a look at it.
pretty, it's amazing, yeah. And then we're asking all board members, to come back with ideas, whether special ed or non-special ed, because we're all in the same boat, but, the MSBA, or, I don't remember what it is on the MSBA, but, so they're going to legislators saying, okay, if you want us to do these mandates, you need to lessen some of the things that we need to do for these mandates, you know, as far as, the paperwork that has to be done, or those types of things. So think of ways that, without throwing extra money at these mandates, how they can be eased on the school districts. And so, special ed has a bunch up there, but we can think of any other special ed that we deal with. Like mandates that are just overwhelming, that there's things that they can be lessened on as far as the requirements of them, without getting more money for them, so that we can lessen what we have to do. So, do you have any ideas on that? Let Dustin or myself know.
I just mentioned, there's been a lot of work on the baseball, softball fields from a lot of volunteer people over the last few months, and so maybe just an update that I think things are moving along pretty good up there. And the association has done a lot of it, and we spent a little bit of money, but they've been raising money and have done a lot of work to the field itself, and it's been a lot of donated, I think, time and material. So just wanted to, not on the donations list, but wanted to call that out, and at some point should probably give an estimate of what that was, and thank the correct people, so.
They're doing a real nice job up there.
At a very minimal cost to the district for all the work that they've done out there. Like we put 5,000 towards the scoreboard. They covered the rest of it, which was 12 or 15,000. Can't remember the exact number. And then we put another 1,000 to 1,500 in paper line. And they spread it and put all the labor in, so it's really a very small drop in the bucket compared to what they are spending and what they've raised out there.
Example of good partnership. Okay, any other board related reports? Otherwise, I would just go to 8.3, principals report.
Okay. So this week, Miss Peterson is super busy. There's a free college application week. So she's gonna do that every week. She has a different hour set up for that. So I want to thank her for her hard work on that.
And the fifth grade science conference is at Gustavus tomorrow. And thank you to Alyssa and everybody who pitched in with the walkathon stuff.
So, because we had some transition last few years with the nurse, so it's nice to have Amber in there. She set up both the vision and hearing screening different days though. So K-1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th are gonna have that on Thursday, October 23rd.
And there's early childhood screening on Friday, the 24th.
Klein Theaters for the elementary, they come in and give a presentation. Kim sets that up, so that's on Wednesday, the 29th.
Senior and financial aid night, and this is another thing that Ms. P does a really good job of. There's gonna be some expert also coming in from, what is it, MSU, Mankato?
Yep.
Coming to help lead that. That'll be Wednesday, the 29th. 5:30 to 7:30.
What age is?
I think it's just
Seniors.
seniors that
What-
come in and they get their FAFSA and stuff.
I don't know, I don't know how many schools do that, but MSU comes right in and teacher or parents can walk out done with.
I've been through it.
Yeah.
When Allison was a senior, it was very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful, because that's,
It can
crazy
be
stuff.
intimidating otherwise, yeah.
So I just said, like, hearing screening's coming up Thursday, October 30th.
PBIS is putting on a Halloween dance party for the elementary kids, Friday, October 31st from 8 to 9 a.m.
And they're probably gonna wear their costumes the rest of the day, and,
And so it's gonna be in the morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's an early release too. So end of quarter, same day as, that, so that'll go till 1.
And then there's a teacher workshop that following Monday, no school for students.
Then 6th grade junior achievement, they actually go up to the cities for BizTown, which is like a college and career readiness. Katie Munns is the regional director for junior achievement, so that's a good connection to have.
And then the state patrol is gonna do a presentation on texting and driving for 10th graders, Friday, November 7th, from 8 to about 10:30 in the morning.
Veterans Day is Tuesday, November 11th. It's gonna look a little different this year. 8:30 to roughly 9:30 is gonna be for the public. Then right after that, we're gonna take 10 minutes and do one just for the elementary, because the kids, the little kids, preschool to 6 sit through that, and sometimes it's over their head. So Lacey Johnson's done it before, and I've been working with her a little bit to just have one for the elementary right after.
And they're gonna do a Duck Cup presentation for the 2nd graders Wednesday, November 12th. And that's just, again, that's about, mental health. It's a mental health type of a thing. And they've been in a few times and they just do a really good job.
And talk about the special ed requirements, mandates. The Woodcock-Johnson test is new. You have to buy 2 or 3 different iPads for this. And they have to take a half day to train all of our staff to do that, so.
What's that called?
It's called the Woodcock-Johnson. It's just,
It's been
There's a
part of
survey,
sped testing for
yeah.
a long time, but I think we've made some adjustments to it that
Updated
require, yeah.
electronic.
And then, Friday, November 14th is an early release for professional development.
Then the 17th, that's actually the night that we have our next school board meeting. There's also blood drive that day.
An instrumental winter concert for 7 through 12, Monday, November 17th, 7 to 9.
I'm 90% sure that there's a school board meeting, so that'll overlap, but that's all we,
I look at adjusting that meeting
do you want to go to
to
6?
accommodate everybody.
I'll be there.
Need to make it for that.
You need to be there. Molly needs to be there.
Yeah.
I'll be
You'll need to be there. Here's Ryan will be there.
Did not try doing it earlier that day, or?
What day is it?
17th, I believe. Let me double check my calendar. November 17th. That's school board regular board meeting,
That's, the concert starts at 7.
and the school board's supposed to start at 7.
It's not long enough. Or do we need to go, can they go at 5:30? Just in case it runs long.
I'd be fine with that, either one, if I could do 6.
Yeah, that'll make it work.
Okay, well, I guess we got number 9, we do have next meeting is listed there, so maybe after we finish our reports here, we can adjust it there. Sorry, I jumped in on you. You got anything else?
Yeah.
That's everything.
Okay, awesome, thanks. Any questions for?
Behavior's getting better.
Yeah, they're not bad. You know, we have a few elementary students that have escalated type behaviors. I mean, maybe to the point where they can be distracting for the learning environment. We need to keep working through some of that and working with MVET on a couple of situations in that regard as well. High school kids in general, pretty good. Occasionally, some of the typical stuff where you see the teasing back and forth, but in general, usually once we get everybody in the room and talk through that, knock on wood, generally that's been helping so far.
Good. Has, the new detention policy been working better?
Yeah, we haven't had a whole bunch of detentions.
There was 6 total detentions and that's pretty good.
Day, didn't it? It used to be a day.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Good.
A couple of those detentions were tardies.
Yeah, they were all tardies, actually.
They were all tardies?
Yeah.
So not necessarily.
High school, behavior wise, high school kids, I bet I've only talked to 10 or 12 people all year in terms of with serious enough stuff where we'd have to sit down.
Right.
You know, there might be little things where you grab somebody at lunch and say, hey, I'm hearing this, and let's clean that up.
And the couple kids that, you know, it's good to hear the numbers because we do have a couple kids who have discussions. We do have a couple discussions coming up with them, but
Yeah.
what our next steps will be.
Good. Thanks.
You've been doing, age appropriate presentations?
Yes. They will finish up tomorrow, so that's kindergarten is the last group to go tomorrow. So Kara Krennic has come in and done a good job with that, and I think we had, 7 kids opt out, 3 families. So it was pretty, actually it was 10, because I forgot one family. 10 total kids, but 2 were high school kids.
I was gonna ask about that, so thanks for doing that. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? All right. 8.4, Transportation Director's Report.
I don't have anything new. Covered pretty much everything last, at the work session the other day. Volleyball and football are both moving on to playoffs now, so we'll have for sure a couple of games probably for each team that we'll be going away for. Other than that, things are going good.
Right, 8.5, Superintendent's Report.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot either. I just want to touch base on the behaviors. You know, through the years, I don't know if there's a correlation or not, but it always seems like when your fall activities are having success, the culture, climate, behaviors in the school really are not an issue, you know? And years that you're struggling in the fall, behaviors tend to, and I don't know if there's a correlation with that or not, but it just seems that that's tied together. Both volleyball and football, cross country, all 3 of them have had very successful seasons. Again, all have a good shot at moving deep in the playoffs and into the next level potentially. Volleyball is playing tonight. They received the number 2 seed, and Walker would have been saying this, so I'm kind of, they received the number 2 seed, seeds came out, then they went over and to Buffalo Lake Hector and played the number 1 seed for a final crossover conference game and beat them. So the number 1 seed is actually beaten by the number 2 seed in the regular season, which should give them some positive, you know, excitement and motivation to finish the job and get to the state level. Football received the number 1 seed, went undefeated, and everyone in the section they beat. So again, that should be another motivator for them to get it taken care of in sections. And cross country has a good shot of you know, both boys and girls teams going to state.
They have a reception today.
Tomorrow, I think, no, Thursday, isn't it Thursday?
They ran today,
They
though.
ran-
Yeah, today was like conference or something. I think Casey needs to leave early Thursday, if I remember right. I want to say Thursday.
Yeah, I think the conference was supposed to be held last week, but because of weather, they shifted it to today, and then sections are coming up. So, a lot of great things are
Yeah,
going
good
on.
chance for all those teams to maybe get to that next level.
And they even, talking academically, when you looked at mid-quarter grades, we had very few high school students that were deemed ineligible. I'm not even sure, what, probably a handful?
Yeah.
Yeah, mid-quarter, I think there might have been one or two is all.
Yeah. So, which is great. They're getting it done on the court, on the field, on the course, and in the classroom. So they're figuring things out and putting everything together.
Could you just touch quickly on what the Rising Voices is? I know there was some donations for that. It's also kind of new, but just like who's involved in it and what they're doing.
Richard Rolfing and Lacey Johnson approached us early this fall about potentially having a elementary opportunity for elementary kids to do, not a concert choir, but a choir. So they had tryouts and we picked the kids. And it was all done through fundraising to help get I think they went out and bought some mics and a stereo system to amplify their singing and such. And I think, was it last week or the week before, they gave their first performance, did the national anthem at a volleyball game, and did an outstanding job. Heard a lot of positive comments coming from that. And this week where are they going? They're going someplace this week.
Some nursing homes, they're doing nursing home visits, I think a couple of those.
We sent our Benedictine.
That's in December, though, right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas, okay. So they're getting that stuff set up, and what a great thing for young elementary kids to go to a nursing home and liven their lives up there. Teaching valuable lessons for those kids at a young age, and hopefully it can keep rolling and expand from what they're doing.
Okay, anything else? Otherwise, next meeting, so do we need a motion to change that, or do we? Yeah, so we discussed moving the Monday, November 17th, 2025 meeting from 7 PM to 5:30 PM. So I would look for a motion to change that time.
Make that motion to change that time to 5:30 from 7.
Okay, Ryan made a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Molly, second. Any more discussion? Right, all in favor, say aye.
Right.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Stand there,
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:40.
make a motion. Andy second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Some guys, for lack of a.
I was gonna say, hang on with some more or what? What's going on here? Slacking, Andy.
Sitting there.
No.
During the meeting.